Nadine, and this is Notable Quotables, where we spotlight your favorite motivational quotes from the Yogi MD podcast. Today, my guest is Orlando Bishop. He listened to the episode with Seth Godin. Hi, Orlando. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. I'm happy that you're here, and I am so pleased that you are going to be sharing with us the quote that struck you from this episode and how it will motivate you to act in your everyday life.
Absolutely. So the quote, we have no problem saying that Jackson Pollock was an artist, but we also have no problem saying that Marcel Duchamp was an artist, or that William Shakespeare was an artist, or even that Michael Jordan was an artist. That we can point to somebody who is doing something ethereal, doing something noteworthy, remarkable, and generous, and say, yeah, that was a work of art. And I don't think it should be reserved for famous people. And I don't think it should be reserved for people who buy their equipment at a craft store or who have writer's block. I think we should open it up for anybody who's doing something where they're not following all the instructions, where they're doing something generous, and where they're doing something that might not work. That quote just really impacted me because I actually am a writer. I am an artist. I am a storyteller. So there is that sort of, yeah, straight way that people talk about art. But I loved the idea of bringing it to life, and the way that I work with people as a coach to tell their success stories. Even that plays in. So I just found myself going over it, not following all the instructions, like knowing that there are times that the way we do it, or that's the way we've always done it, like that's just not good enough, and that there's so much to be learned and to be mined and to be cherished in the instructions we don't follow. Doing something generous, I try to think about my audience, but now in life terms, thinking, how could I, we talk of marketing about delighting people, how could I delight just the people I encounter in my day? In what way would I do that? Where's that generosity coming from? But it really was that last piece that made me choose this quote: doing something that might not work.
Hmm.
And it's just, there's fear there, right? None of us want to feel that way. I thought about it in so many ways. Recently, I've been paying more attention to investment, and I was listening to somebody talk about, oh, what's your accuracy rate, and that they didn't want their accuracy rate to be too high, because that would mean that they were not taking enough chances. And I just thought, like, oh, isn't that interesting? And that courage to do the thing that might not work, I know in my heart that's the key to living the kind of life I want to lead. At least I think a lot of us want to lead, but I think we talk ourselves into doing the maneuver with the lower, what do they call it in gymnastics, like the not the difficult degree of difficulty. We go for the lower degree of difficulty because we feel that confident that we can stick the landing. And I think there are times in this life where I would be better served, and I'm going to look for them in 2021 after listening to this and thinking about it, where I'm going to go for the higher degree of difficulty, um, and see what happens.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I would love to hear what other listeners think, but it sounds like this made quite the impression on you. Thanks
Very
for
much
being
so.
here.
Thanks for having me.